When the James Webb Space Telescope finally launched, it was hailed as humanity's boldest step yet in unlocking the hidden structures of the universe. A $10 billion marvel, decades in the making, its mission was to peer deeper into space than ever before, uncovering the secrets of distant galaxies, ancient stars, and even planets that might harbor life. But when Webb turned its gaze on an interstellar visitor named 3I Atlas, everything changed. What began as a routine observation spiraled into one of the most unsettling moments in modern astronomy, one that many now believe was deliberately hidden from the public eye. 3I Atlas was no ordinary object. It was the third known interstellar body to pass through our solar system, following the infamous Oumuamua and Borisov. Its arrival had already stirred anticipation among astronomers eager to study the untouched material of another star system. At first glance, it appeared faint and unremarkable, little more than another cosmic traveler. But Webb's extraordinary sensitivity picked up anomalies immediately. Its instruments detected energy fluctuations, chemical signatures that defied natural classification, and most disturbingly, rhythmic pulses that hinted at a signal rather than random cosmic noise. Unlike a comet shedding ice or dust in chaotic bursts, 3I Atlas seemed to emit controlled plumes. Some aligned suspiciously with its direction of travel, suggesting not sublimation but propulsion. Webb's spectrographic scans revealed layered compositions, like strata of engineered alloys instead of the expected scatter of natural elements. One region appeared to be dominated by nickel-iron, another by strange silicate ratios, and beneath those, compounds unknown to stellar nucleosynthesis. The phrase whispered in hushed scientific circles was unnatural geology. As Webb continued its watch, patterns became undeniable. Reflections off the surface behaved less like scatter from jagged rock and more like coherent signals, polished, angular, structured. The harmonics they produced weren't random. They repeated, forming grid-like sequences eerily similar to radar returns. For those who reviewed the raw data, the conclusion was inescapable. This wasn't simply an interstellar rock. It was behaving as though it had been designed. Then, without warning, Webb's sessions with 3I Atlas were cut short. Official reports blamed technical issues, routine calibrations, safe mode procedures, unexplained orientation faults. Yet these interruptions occurred only during observation windows of 3I Atlas. For every other target, Webb functioned flawlessly. The timing was too precise to dismiss as coincidence. Behind closed doors, whispers grew louder. The shutdown wasn't a glitch. It was an order. Why would NASA, an agency built on discovery, suppress findings of such magnitude? The answer may lie in the consequences. If Webb had confirmed the artificial nature of 3I Atlas, the impact would have shaken every foundation of human civilization. Religion, politics, science, and economics would be upended overnight. Nations would scramble to weaponize or control the knowledge. Populations might panic. Authority could fracture. Suppression, some argue, was seen as the only way to buy time. The leaked fragments that did escape paint a picture more extraordinary than anything science fiction ever imagined. Thermal maps revealed areas of the object that maintained stable temperatures regardless of solar radiation, as if insulated by design. Spectral lines showed discontinuities too sharp to occur in natural mixtures. A triangular reflection, near perfect in symmetry, was recorded, something not found in chaotic cosmic bodies. Even more chilling, some bursts of radiation occurred at frequencies used on Earth for high-efficiency communication. Those who glimpsed the data described disbelief. The intuition was overwhelming. This was engineering masquerading as geology, a probe drifting across interstellar space. If so, its endurance meant it was far older and more advanced than anything humanity had ever achieved. Perhaps it was a messenger, a relic, or a probe set adrift thousands of years ago. Perhaps its trajectory was never random at all, but designed to intersect with human awareness at the precise moment our instruments became capable of detecting it. Webb's silence, then, was not just technical. It was political. A machine designed to reveal the universe's truths was muzzled to contain one truth too great to release unprepared. And yet, suppression can only delay, not erase. The rhythms recorded, the geometric shadows captured, the layered spectral anomalies, they remain embedded in scientific memory, impossible to bury completely. The real question is not whether 3I Atlas was natural or artificial. The question is why, at this moment in history, it appeared at all. Was it coincidence? Or was it a signal waiting for us, testing whether we were ready to recognize it? If its design was intentional, then whoever or whatever launched it knew us before we knew them. For the astronomers who still whisper about those scans, Webb's encounter with 3I Atlas represents more than discovery. It represents a threshold. Humanity's instruments are now powerful enough to detect truths that challenge the deepest assumptions of who we are and where we stand in the cosmos. The shutdown may have delayed the public reckoning, but the data ensures it cannot be avoided forever. One day, the silence will break. And when it does, the story of 3I Atlas may not be remembered as a suppressed anomaly but as the first undeniable trace of intelligence beyond Earth. A question too vast to ignore. The James Webb Space Telescope was crafted to serve as humanity's most powerful eye in the cosmos. This remarkable device aimed to uncover the early universe's mysteries and explore phenomena beyond our understanding. However, in a brief moment, it may have encountered a puzzle so unsettling that its triumph became a burden. This enigma involved an interstellar object named 3I Atlas. Initially, it appeared to be a faint, unremarkable entity drifting through space, reminiscent of Oumuamua from years past. Yet, the advanced tools of Webb soon unveiled that 3I Atlas was anything but standard. Natural celestial bodies showcase the scars of chaos, impacts, erosion, and irregular contours shaped by time and circumstance. However, Webb's analysis revealed something peculiar. On its surface lay a recess with sharp corners and an unnaturally precise symmetry. It resembled a compartment, a cavity preserving regulated temperatures even within the vacuum of space. Whether it was empty or contained something remains uncertain. However, the mere possibility sent chills down the spines of researchers studying the data. Equally perplexing was the object's movement. Like other debris in space, 3I Atlas was influenced by solar radiation pressure. However, its acceleration surpassed what its size and shape should allow, as if it were being actively controlled by sunlight. This mirrored the mysterious behavior of Oumuamua, which had sparked debates about extraterrestrial probes. The key difference was that Webb had the capability to analyze Atlas in real time. The results increasingly suggested design rather than mere chance. The telescope also detected rhythmic pulses emerging from the object, subtle but distinct. Upon analysis, these pulse ratios matched prime numbers, a pattern widely recognized as a sign of intelligence. Prime sequences don't arise accidentally in nature. They're intentional, mathematical, and communicative. Here they were, softly pulsating from a body wandering through our solar system. For scientists, it felt as if the cosmos had spoken. The implications of this were profound. If the object was transmitting signals, if its surface showed evidence of engineering, if it emitted structured pulses, then some civilization, even an ancient one, had constructed it. Its trajectory indicated it might have traveled for millennia, perhaps tens of thousands of years, launched long before humans ever existed. It could be a time capsule from a bygone civilization or part of an expansive network of probes spread across the galaxy. Regardless, the silence of the universe had been pierced. We were not alone. Yet with this discovery came unease. Was this probe a mere relic meant to be discovered? Or was it active, recording, observing, or communicating? If the pulses were designed for detection, humanity might have entered a conversation far older and grander than itself. If unintentional, we may have intercepted a transmission between stars. The questions now transcended the scientific realm, raising ethical and existential concerns. Should we respond? Should we acknowledge what Webb had unveiled? What followed felt less like scientific caution and more like deliberate suppression. Access logs from Webb change. Observation windows closed without justification. Public data streams were either delayed or quietly erased. Official explanations cited routine calibrations, mechanical malfunctions, or orientation issues. However, the timing raised suspicion. Interruptions coincided perfectly with when 3I Atlas was within Webb's sight. Observers noted the obvious conclusion: someone deemed humanity unready. Independent observatories attempted to track the object, but their instruments lacked Webb's sensitivity. Ground telescopes could glimpse the distant entity, yet atmospheric distortion blurred the details. Radio arrays scanned the sky, but the pulses recorded by Webb in infrared went unnoticed. This imbalance of knowledge was glaring. Only a small number of institutions operated the telescope that had witnessed too much but were no longer openly communicating. This silence resonated louder than any official statement. Why suppress the information unless it indicated something extraordinary? For scientists committed to transparency, the shutdown was disheartening. Webb aimed to address the universe's fundamental questions. How did it all begin? What are distant worlds like? Are we alone? Yet, when it appeared to confront that last question most directly, the telescope faced silence. Humanity's own fears created a divide between what could be known and what must stay concealed. Perhaps this event's true legacy lies here. If Atlas was indeed artificial, it was likely not the only one. The galaxy could be filled with such messengers, quietly awaiting those with keen enough vision. While Webb might have been silenced, it opened a door that cannot be closed. Other instruments will follow, and other missions will try again. The truth has a tendency to resurface, regardless of efforts to suppress it. Ultimately, this tale was never solely about astronomy. It marked a pivotal moment for humanity, as the question of our solitude drew nearer to an answer. Shutting down Webb may have postponed that moment but could not erase it. The universe does not seek permission to unveil its wonders. Its truths remain vast, patient, and unyielding. Somewhere in the cosmos, 3I Atlas continues its voyage, carrying a story that humanity glimpsed only